The men who feel needed can still feel invisible. Which begins to explain why you feel invisible, even though you're still the one people rely on. See, you can matter to everyone and still feel like nobody wants you. You provide, you help, you earn, you carry, and you care. I'm a best-selling author, and I'm going to give you my lowdown on it all towards the end of this video, along with the bonus. But first, let's look at the research. Research shows something important. Feeling important is simply linked to well-being, not just happiness, but purpose, worth, growth, and meaning. One meta-analysis reviewed 30 studies across 39 different samples. Over 18,000 people. It found that mattering was positively linked with well-being. The strangest link was with eudaimic well-being, meaning, purpose, self-reliance, positive relevance. In plain words, you do not just need I to be useful. You need to feel valued, recognized, acknowledged, missed, and significant. But the second study adds a warning. Caregiving changes how you age. Researchers studied informed caregivers in Germany, aged 40 and above. They looked at the care time, the care burden, care tasks, and views of aging. More care hours made caregivers feel older. More tasks sometimes improved their attitudes towards their own aging, but also it made old age feel closer. For women, more care time was linked to worse views of their own aging. For men, more care time specifically made them feel older. So just maybe your exhaustion is not welcome. Maybe it is for too much responsibilities without enough mattering. You see, you're depended upon, but not thanked. You're needed, but not nourished. Present, but not protected. And that is the trap. You want to be able to feel valued and to ask directly. Like, don't cower in the corner. Don't put yourself down. Speak out. Ask those people that need to be asked. Put yourself first in this regard. But also remember that you can notice appreciation. Stop just minimizing. The very things that actually can help us be good in some ways at caring for others can stop us to look at ourselves. So we have to have that give and get. So by minimizing things, we need to maximize them back towards ourselves. Second way of doing it is to add value. Okay, you're adding value already, you might say. Fine. But if you look deeper at it, there's much more in you. So show people in that regard. And then help wisely. You don't want to just pour things in and let the energy be drained from you all the way through. If you can do little incremental ways and do it wisely, you're going to have a better outcome. Try to choose your impact as well. So we're bringing back control here in using the wisdom, using your choice, and using your timing as well. The third way of doing it is to reduce your hours. Sounds simple. But if we use our communication to reduce our hours, I mentioned habit. That becomes a habit. We become respected, and our reduction of hours or our request to reduce our hours allows us to have more power and autonomy about what and how we care for. Share our care. Why does it always have to be us? It can be others too. So others have to be brought into the pot. I mean, after all, if there was something out of the pot, they would certainly take it. So why can't these people come in and help out? You have to make them aware of it. Try to keep your diversity and vary your tasks. Because if you have that variation, there's almost excitement with knowing certain tasks are there at certain times of the day and night. And so if the mundane life comes upon you and it becomes groundhog day and night, we have to be able to switch it up a little bit. If we don't have control over the tasks, then we have to shuffle it about a little bit so that we have control over the present. Try to lower your burden in some way. There might be tasks, one, in fact, that's pulling your energy, pulling your time away and your concentration and your thinking time. You're perplexed maybe how to do it perfectly, but you don't have to, because if you offload and lower that task, that burden more so away, you're going to have a better, more fulfilling energy and time towards other tasks. Then try to name stress. Try to label it. Try to assign yourself away from it, but knowing what name it is means that you can see it coming, you know exactly what characteristic it has, and that means you can avoid it in the future. Now look, if you're getting something from this video, please like it, then open the conversation. Have a comment, good or bad, we'll try and help you, and I'll produce more if you subscribe too. Moving on, try to protect your identity. If we get into the core of it all and it becomes us, then we change. If we want to change, great, we can change in a good way and have more empathy, super. That's always welcome within a person. But if it becomes a thing where it just rips out of us and we're not the same person, we really have to spend as much time, as much effort, as much energy, even money, at helping ourselves after all of this has finished. Beyond caregiving, know that you're something else, you're something deeper, you're something not necessarily better, but you're different. You have other skills, or you want to develop. You're curious, you're intelligent, you have ability. Beyond being a provider, you have to have an identity that's at a core. And know that you're beyond your duty as well. And it's a duty that you're doing this in the first place. Whilst you're in the midst of it, you need to strengthen relationships. Stay connected. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about the people that are going to help you right now or day to day within your new routine or of your giving routine, but other people that are totally different. Develop interests and connections even first before you can do those interests or spend time or do something once a week for an hour or get away or have a hobby or an after type of thing where you're worried about your identity and where will it go. But guess what? If you have another person or people or groups, they will dictate how you need to be interested in that group or speak about that group and not just other things that you've done in the past. But it can be a time where you rebuild your purpose. It might be alone time, a lot more than you want. And with that, you can look at your identity and your purpose and you can serve meaningfully, which means other relationships, the ones I've touched on, can be marinated, can be enriched, can be nurtured and deepened. And with that, you can set goals too, because if you're connecting with others, if you're having ideas, if you're curious, if you're having conversations, then you can certainly make your whole world better. Within this, you might have aging fears, so you need to challenge aging fears and notice ability. Reject those stereotypes that are out there. I am bringing this from the actual research, therefore there is no stereotype within this research. It's the opposite. It's showing you what's new and cutting edge. Therefore, the stereotypes are just like age-old, silly stuff in many, many ways. Going by the research allows you to go notch forward, incrementally improve, incrementally make sure that what you're learning is the truth. It's from around the world and it's from the top of science. So stay active when you have that in your head. It will help you go forward in the future too. Try to design your support and reduce the intensity that you have. Try to take things back into your control and keep your dignity whilst you're doing this, because you need to preserve your well-being. You do not just need people to depend on you, you also need to feel that your life genuinely means a lot to them. Too much caregiving time also can damage the way you experience your own aging, so you have to be very careful with that. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. If you subscribe, comment to say that you have, and we'll look after you.